Definitely am. I didn't realize that. What's up, guys? Today is Thursday, September 12th. And just like that, Q3 is almost over. All right, so I don't know if you guys are tracking your goals. If you guys started at your year and you want to know what you're going to go to, guys, we're three-quarters of the way done with the year. Reevaluate your goals. We'll definitely do that at the end of this month on one of our calls, especially for the community members. We'll go through our goal tracking spreadsheet. But it just popped in my head. This year is flying by, and guys, if you're not tracking your goals, you really need to, because it's going to keep yourself accountable. So today's call has nothing to do about goals. I just wanted to talk about that for a second. As always, drop a comment. Let me know what's going on with you today. Let me know if you have any questions on today's subject. As I go through things, stop me, ask me questions. Make sure my numbers are actually correct. I've ran a bunch of different scenarios that we're going to go over today, and I've had notes everywhere, and I've done calculations. There's going to be a lot of numbers we discuss today. Check my math. Make sure I'm right. So stay engaged. What we're discussing today is direct-to-seller marketing. All right. Everybody that gets into real estate, they usually get in because of wholesaling. Right. They learn about wholesaling. They want to make quick cash. That is great. Wholesaling is just a disposition strategy. Everybody knows that. Where the real money comes from is marketing. It's lead flow. Okay, you need to have a constant lead flow if you're going to be successful. This isn't anything. I don't care if you're doing wholesaling, you're doing real estate, you're knocking doors for roofs, if you're a car salesman, if you're selling loans. Everything comes from the lead gen. Okay, and that's the first thing you need to crack if you actually want to do this as a business. If you want to be successful, if you want to get out of that 9-to-5 life, you have to understand marketing. Okay, and it's very difficult because a lot of times when you're first getting into real estate, you have to learn how to solve problems, right? You have to be able to analyze deals. You have to understand how to help these sellers. And all the while, there's this beast that you have to understand and you have to perfect and you have to crack. Okay, and the questions that always come up are, what's the best one? I don't want to waste money. I always want the best one. So which one is the best? Hopefully I answer that to you today. All right. We're going to go over, I'm going to start off with direct mail. Then we're going to go into cold calling. Then we're going to go into PPC. And then we're going to go into PPL. I might change that up a little, but those are the four that we're going to go over today. Everything that we're going to be discussing today is spending money. All right. These are all, are they inbound or outbound? I always forget that one. Anyway, they're inbound. You're going to be spending money for these lead gens, all right? You're not door knocking. You're not driving for dollars. You can, and you can take the same thing and plug those into the numbers behind me, all right? And we'll go over that. But for today's call, I'm not doing those analysis, right? I want to get into helping you after you closed your first deal and you have some money in the bank. What are you going to do with it? You're going to spend it on marketing, okay, to start generating more leads. Which one do you want to spend? How much you want to spend? Hopefully I get into that today. I'm going to start out with the highest one possible, direct mail. It is the oldest, it's the most tested, it's the most verified. There are people who've been doing direct mail since mail started, okay? You will find direct mail for every industry. Literally, real estate professionals, contractors, people that mow your lawn do direct mail. Okay, it is the best and most tried and true method of marketing. Okay, but it has its caveats. It has its kickbacks. Okay, everything has a plus and minus. So let's jump off onto this. Let's start filling in the board behind me. I can put this on a spreadsheet very easily. There are spreadsheets out there. If you guys need one, drop a comment and I'll give you one. For today's call, I wanted to put it on the whiteboard. This way you guys are actually following along. All right, that's my goal for today. So let's start off. Mail. Okay, that's the one we're going to start off with first. Okay, like I said, this is a higher dollar entry barrier. Okay, you can do small batch mail and large bulk mail. I'm going to say the majority, if you want to be successful, you have to do large batch mail. Okay? You can still refine your list. You can still really get into the nitty gritty of it. But at the end of the day, you're going to be sending out bulk. Okay, bulk being 7,500 per month. That number, and I know right now I can hit up some investor friends and they will laugh at that number. Okay, I'm trying to pick a number that is reasonable. You can spend, I know people that are spending $100,000 a month on direct mail. Okay, so when I say 7,500 is the highest of the ones we're going to discuss today, I just want to stress how high this budget can actually go. All right, but I'm going to start at a reasonable number. I want to start somewhere reasonable, where if you get a deal, you close it. Hopefully you have some money in the pocket, close a second deal, third deal, and now you can get into the direct mail, right? And there are services out there that you can always hire out and they'll do cheaper or whatever. That's not what I'm discussing today. I just want to talk about the averages. All right, so 7,500 for a 30-day budget. That puts, I have all the numbers. I wrote them all in my book here. So I've been doing work on this, trying to make sure I didn't have to bust out my calculator again and insult myself with some simple math. This is going to work out to $250 per day. That's for your daily budget. The things you need to track if you want to understand marketing is your timeline. Right? A lot of times I'll talk to newer investors and they'll say, I'm spending $2,000 a month on PPL, let's just say. How much do I need to spend? Okay? You can spend $2,000 a month and make a deal out of direct, mail, right? Even though it's 7,500 that we're putting up here, you can spend less. You'll just get different numbers on the back end. You have to track your time to contract, okay? So, what is time to contract? September 1st, you start your mail. You start your campaign. You're going to spend $7,500 in your budget, and that's day one, okay? Let's say, what did I do on this one? I did 60 days. Direct mail is going to have a little bit higher lag time. Okay, by the time mail goes out, by the time they receive it, by the time they even look at it, the cool thing about mail is it hangs around. Okay, if you did a text blast, if you pay, you had a VA send an SMS, if they don't answer on it that first time, it's just going to get lost in the weeds. Whereas this direct mail, this postcard, will sit on the counter. It'll sit on top of the fridge. It will lay around the seller's house. And you might get a call. I don't want to say you will, but you will get a call significantly later than you ever sent it out. Okay? So just because you send mail out on Monday, don't expect a call by Wednesday. It's possible that you send out mail on Monday and you get a call 3 months later from that mail piece. Okay, it's very different. So you'll have a little bit higher lag time on that. If you get it under contract in day 60, what's the next timeline that you got to worry about? It's your timeline cash in. Okay, for today's purposes, we're gonna evaluate wholesales. All right, and the reason why I'm saying wholesale is just because it's a quicker turnaround time. So it's just easier for today's conversations. Let's say you get under contract at day 60. And then it takes you 2 weeks to sell. All right, and this number we can always change. It might take another 30 days to close and fund, but let's just say you're aiming at a 2-week turn time from that. So I think it was 60, 14. So then you have 60 plus 14. Your total time is going to be 74 days on this. Your total spend, okay, is 74 times your daily. Beep, boop, beep, boop. I have it written down here somewhere, 18,500. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Pause. Unpause. You see right now how it's double practically? I know it's whatever the fucking math works out to be. Your monthly budget is 7,500, which is already high. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to be spending close to 18 grand before you get a deal under contract, before you get your money back, right? So a lot of times people say, all right, I started up a campaign. Every time you start a campaign, you better make sure you have it in your budget to run the full campaign. So if your monthly budget is 7,500, I hope you have, for direct mail, 4 to 6 months planned to run that campaign, because it's going to take 74 days for you to recoup some money, right? Like, do you understand? Does this make sense? I hope this is helping people. Drop a comment, smash the like button. Let me know if I'm making any sense or if I'm just rambling. So this right here is your total spend, 18,500. Let's break down some KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. They're the ones you need to track. These are the ones you need to know, right? When you come down and you sit down and you're like, all right, how do you tell if you're having a good campaign versus a bad campaign? These are your KPIs all right here, guys. This is what you need to track. So, I think I used 150. Yeah. Let's say this mail campaign, it generated 150 leads. Okay. 150 leads. I think I did 2. Conversion, 2%. I'm losing my math. Yeah, 3 deals. 3 divided by 150 equals 2%. Conversion rate. You're going to know your conversion rate. Your total revenue that came in. It's going to be, if I was closing 3 deals, did I put my... Oh, I didn't put that in there. I think I missed that one on the spreadsheet. I mean, on the whiteboard. I knew I missed one line. Sorry, guys. Revenue per deal. All right, so if you did 3 deals, how much did you make per deal? Let's just say we did 20K per deal. Your total revenue now is 60K. Cost per acquisition, you take your total spend divided by your conversions. So your total spend was 18,500. You're going to divide that by your total conversions, which was 3 deals. You 6167. That's dollars. Okay. ROAS, return on ad spend. Okay. This is how you're really gonna. It's another way to track your campaign. Okay. So you have your total revenue, which is 60K, divided by your total spend, which is 18,500. was that 3.24? That's equals. That's not dividing. Fuck, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. 3.24. Return on ad spend. This number is for every dollar I spend in direct mail, I'm going to make $3.24 back. Okay? So think of it as a machine. When we get into the business aspect of this, right? And this is what we're talking about. You're going to get to a point where you're just putting singles in a machine. And every time you put one in, you'll get 3 out. Or you put 1 in and you get 5 out. There's a total of fucking everything has different numbers. Just comes down to how to calculate. So, direct mail, the beast behind it is the total cost, okay? Also, it's not for the weak-hearted, okay? It's going to take a longer time frame than the others. With that being said, it is also the longest standing marketing channel. Okay? It is the most well-tested marketing channel for a reason. Okay? So, who's direct mail for? What type of investor is going to use direct mail? I just came up with this question on the top of my head. I think it's somebody that's been in the game, or they're going to be getting into the game, and they have enough reserves. They're not fresh wholesalers. They're not newbies and just looking to do this as the first marketing channel. This, direct mail, is a fantastic second marketing channel if you're not already have some form of reserves, okay? If you have capital to throw at mail, then do it. But a lot of times, this is a more pricey barrier to entry into the marketing world. Tony and I, in 2020, we spent over $100,000 in direct mail, and we did not make that back. It was a fire sale. We might as well have taken $100,000 and set it on fire, because at least then we'd have some entertainment. Okay, we wouldn't have the stress of dealing with marketing and just whatever. Do I blame? Do I hate that direct mail? No, we love direct mail. We messed up on our campaigns. We weren't monitoring it, and we were using a shitty provider, and it blew up in our face. I don't knock direct mail. You have to just be able to absorb that and keep going. Yeah, that's exactly it, Nick. Thanks for hitting me with that. On what happened was, we didn't realize until we started getting our mail returned. All of our mail, there were postcards. You know, there were postcards and like, we want to buy your house. And then at the bottom, when the postage went out in the mail, there'll be the stamp up here and everything. When it goes through the carriers, they put this little tiny sticker on the bottom of it for barcode. So every $100,000 worth of postcards went out, and not one of them had our phone number on them. Marketing is fun, boys and girls. Everybody wants to get into real estate, but they don't really actually understand what part of real estate. Marketing is a big part of real estate. Let's move on to the next one. Hopefully I can erase this and keep my forms. I was going to write this in permanent marker just so I didn't have to worry about this, but I figured it was entertaining enough. All right. I think that's good enough. No, it wasn't a bit. All right, so on that one, we were using a newer. The mail provider just came out with like a new design, let's just say. Nobody had used it first. It was on a black card, black stock. When you're doing direct mail, there's a lot of things that go into campaigns, okay? Not just the data side of it, not who you're actually mailing, but psychological things of the size of the card, what type of envelope it comes in, what color stock it is, right? There, when you're talking about direct mail, I'm not kidding when I say it's the oldest and the most tested. They have so many different things that they look at when they're doing direct mail. So us being assholes, we were like, yeah, we'll do the new one. We'll try it. We'll be your guinea pigs. Don't be a guinea pig. It's not worth it, guys. The next one we're going to get into is cold calling. I'm doing cold calling with VAs, all right? You can do your own cold calling, but I want to picture this out for those that want to build marketing to scale, all right? That's what we're doing for today. So if you're newer, I don't want you to think that you have to hire VAs. You can still cold call. You can still do the same calculations, how much money it's going to cost for my data, how much, how long it takes, everything, right? The only thing different is you're not paying VAs. For today's sense, we're going to pay a VA, okay? The average VA, let's just say for a cold caller, I think I did $6 per hour. That's a 40-hour work week. 4 weeks in a month, and it works out to be just under $1,000. I'm going to round up to $1,000. Don't check that math. That math is incorrect. It's 960, I think. But I'm going to round it to 1,000. One VA should cost you about $1,000 per month to make calls. The other part of this calculation that nobody takes into account is data. Okay? Data. And data is on all of them, but specifically for VAs, okay? Because that matters with these people. If you give VAs bad data, man, you might as well throw. I can't think of a good analogy, but it's bad. Data. You can get it cheap. You can get it expensive. I would say expect to pay $200 to $500 per month. Okay, usually typical service providers do in quarters. I'm going to round up and I'm going to say 500. Again, this is for newer, you're getting into marketing. So your first hire, let's say you want to do a VA and you want to do cold callers. Let's just say you're going to do one VA, right? You're going to take one and you're going to try them out. You're not going to dump a lot of money into it. So That's where we're going to come up with $1,500 per month. Okay? That's going to get you one VA and some data. So your monthly budget of $1,500 worked out to be $50 a day? Yeah. Is $50 a day. Your time to contract theoretically should be a lot quicker than the previous 60 days. Right? This is a more speedy, you're just picking up phones, you're calling them, you're not waiting for mail to send out. You're not waiting for that person to pick up the mail and find time to call you, right? These are a lot quicker. So we're going to say it's going to take a VA 30 days to warm up a lead, and then it's going to take you, let's say a VA takes 14 days to warm up a lead, and then it takes you another 14 days to get under contract. So now you're at 30 days. We're going to do the same disposition strategy just to keep things even. And I'm going to say, hey, it took me another 2 weeks to close it and get some money. So now you're at 44 days total. 44 days times 50 is 2,200 for your total spend. Still larger than your monthly. A lot of times people do their monthly and they think that's going to get them a deal. What I'm trying to highlight today is that you have to spend more than your monthly budget. If you only have $1,500 going towards something and the average cost per acquisition is $4,500, $1,500, $45, it's going to take you significantly longer until you finally lock a deal up, right? Did I do 150 again on this one? Sorry. No, I did less. So cold caller, lead gen, probably going to be a little bit bad. So we're going to do 77 leads. You did 2 contracts. Divided by 77 equals 2.67. Okay. That's a percent. 2.67% is your conversion ratio, which is on average, right? I did 15K profit per deal. That is 30K total. Total spend, I wrote this a little too tight, 2,200 divided by your conversions, which was 2, 1,100 is your cost per acquisition, okay? And your return on ad spend is 30,000. Your total revenue divided by your total spend. $13.64. That's a beast. That means every dollar that you spend, you're making $13 back. Problem with PPC, the problem with VAs and cold callers are it's the same with everything. All right, let me say that. Every part of these, every campaign that you do, no matter the campaign you go toward, so right now, I bet somebody out there was like, oh man, 13.64, why would I ever go and try to do, what was the 3.24? Right? Direct mail was 3.24. It was a higher spend. It had a less return on ad spend. Like, why would I go that route? Well, these fuckers are a pain in the ass to deal with. They are robots. A lot of times, is it smart to bring them in-house, or are you going to hire a third-party service, right? All of these channels, no matter what campaign you're doing, you have to manage it, okay? They're a pain in the ass. Thank you, Ryan, for saying that right at the last second, right as I'm highlighting this, right? So yes, you can have a badass return on ad spend, but VAs, at the end of the day, you're more likely to be wasting money on bad data and bad VAs, and it's going to take you 3 to 6 months before you train them and you have somebody that's actually smart enough to close a deal and shit, right? Yeah, so that's where I rounded up. I kind of bulked this number for the data and the skip tracing. So, but this is the first way that wholesalers tell you to get into real estate. If you talk to any dodo guru out there, they're going to say wholesale a couple deals and then go use this service and hire out VAs and then just work leads. That's not the smartest thing to do, folks. All right? Every dollar you put in, you might not even get back. You might as well set it on fire. So take that into account. I don't want to go, I'll finish it with another conversation at the end. I know I probably am pissing off some service providers that all they do is manage cold callers, right? Like, that's why you need to use us. Yeah, I would agree with them. I don't think you, when you're first starting out, needs to start building a team so that you have to go train and manage. So I absolutely believe if you want to do cold callers, you want to do this route, that's fine. Find a verified and trusted cold caller provider, right? You can go on Fiverr, you can go on Upwork, and you can put in your own job posting, and hire somebody. But like Ryan said, you're going to have to now manage them. You just got into real estate. You just learned how to solve problems. The next thing you need to do is not manage other people's time. Okay? You're going to have to sit there. You're going to have to start managing their mouse clicks, right? How often they use a fucking mouse and stuff. Every time they log into something, the training, they're working odd hours because a lot of times they're overseas and it's nighttime when you're during day. Why would you want to get into that? Why would you want to start building a business of chaos, right? Don't try not to contradict myself too much. You can hire out or you bring them in. I'm going to tell you right now, if you bring them in, you will have a lot more control over them, but you're now managing them, and it is a chore. Yeah. I want to highlight what Ryan just said also. They also lie a lot. They're humans. And if it's as simple as, yeah, I was working for 30 minutes after lunch, right? No, they were sitting there on their phone watching Facebook at the computer, and their mouse wasn't moving, nothing, right? They'll just take breaks and not. You're trying to manage somebody from across the world. And hopefully they are generating leads for you. It's a scary thing. The next one we're going to get into is our favorite. Pay-per-click. This is our main source of lead gen. Okay? This is our specialty. We have our own PPC, pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is Google Ads. It's Facebook ads. Okay? It is literally paying per click. When you type in "sell my house fast" into Google, right, you're going to get a bunch of results. But these top up here are all sponsored. I think I misspelled that. These are all sponsored. These are paid ads. These down here are all SEO. These are worth shit. You're going to spend a lot of money to try to generate SEO. Search engine optimize? Yeah. These are based on the keywords of your website. There's so much things that you're going into. Not only that, you're competing against everybody else's SEO. It's the same thing with PPC. So we're going to take our budget, we're going to say where we want to do ads, and we're going to be competing against other people. And you're going to have to spend a lot of money to be number one, and you'll spend a little bit less money to be number two, and a little bit less money to be number three, right? Every time somebody clicks on one, it charges you $300, $350, whatever you get your cost per lead down to. The cool thing about PPC is you can really fine tune it. You can have fun with it. You can really dial in those numbers. Okay, you have control over everything. The bad thing about PPC is that you have control over everything. Even if you hire it out, you're just paying somebody else to manage your PPC. You cannot ask yourself for a refund. Okay? If a bad lead comes in, that's it. It's a bad lead. And it's the same thing with the other channels that we just discussed. But this is drastically different. You can get a lot of bad leads very quickly. If you don't have optimized negative keywords, you'll be spending, people will just be clicking on your shit for no reason, right? And calling out. A perfect example of this is, again, I said this is our main marketing channel. A perfect example of this is a couple of years ago when we first started, 5-6 years ago, when we were kicking on the PPC campaign. We literally got a phone call. Hey, I want to sell my house on 123 Main Street. Oh, awesome! You know, we're going through all the verifying questions, yada yada yada, and it became quick. You know, it came clear very quickly that they weren't selling a house. They were trying to sell a bounce house. Not the actual property, not the land, just they wanted to sell a bounce house. That cost us. That phone call cost us $300 to $500. In the past couple weeks alone, I think in the past month, we have spent almost $5,000 on retail leads. These are agents that are calling us, sell my house fast, and they're clicking on one of our links because they're lazy realtors and they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to help their actual clients. So when we get them, they're already listed and trying to deal with them. Like, we can't do anything with that a lot of times. So we're just spending money and not getting anything in return. All right. And that's my rant on PPC. PPC, monthly budget. It's going to be a little bit higher than your others. By others, I meant the cold callers. Okay. So let's bump this one up
to 4,500. Okay.
The way this works is it's kind of like you preload it, you do it all, and then you're just going to get kicked in the nuts all the way through until your account's negative again, and then re-up it, and yada, yada, yada.
Time to contract, it will be faster. I will say that. It's going to be just as fast as cold calling, because the second you start the campaign, it's out. You can get a call within 15 minutes. Okay? TJ, his claim to fame, or like his bragging, is I think it was 45 minutes. He had a phone call, discussed with it, ran out there with the contract, and got it locked up in like 45 minutes after they kicked off the campaign. So time is a lot faster here, or potentially. So we'll do 25 days.
I think I did the same
14 days just to be consistent on the post thing. It's 39.
Somebody verify my math.
The total spend works out to be 150 a day.
150 times 39.
58.50.
All right, your total spend till you get a deal, 58.50. I want to put my marker away and just highlight these numbers. I know I'm making up for today's call. They can be completely different. You have to figure out your own. Okay, when you start a campaign, you're gonna run the campaign. It's full duration, 90 days, 6 months, a year. Whatever you have set up for that campaign, you're gonna run it the entire campaign, and the entire way through, these are the things you're tracking. These are the things that you're making sure you have dialed in, and you'll make minor tweaks. If this number goes up, if you're running PPC and all of a sudden time to contract goes through the roof, well, what's going on? Are we getting bad leads, or are we getting bad salesmen, right? What are we running into? Did the market change? We see this number fluctuate a lot, right? Depending on the deals, what type of deals we're coming across. Lead gen. What did I do on this one? 4,500?
Sorry, 4,500. I did 45 leads. Conversion, we only got 445.
On my notes, I didn't write the decimal on that one. 1 divided by 45. .22%.
Revenue per deal, let's say you made 25 grand on that deal. Total revenue, 25 grand. Total spend,
I don't have to do that math. 58.50 divided by 1 is 58.50.
I was wondering why. I was confused for a second.
That's on its own. Return on ad spend,
25.
Wait, yeah.
Sorry, guys, I got a little confused here. 4.27. That's a solid number. You want your return on ad spend to be, goal is to have it 4x, 4 to 7x. If you can get it to 7x, that's throw all your money at it. If you start seeing this number come down, adjust your campaign. Buy deeper. Figure out what's going on. Are we not making enough profit? Are we leaving too much skin on the game, right? Are we going after the wrong avatar? The cool thing about PPC is that you really get to dial it in and pinpoint who's going to search for you. Okay? So, like, at the same time, it's bad because if you don't, you're going to be paying for bad leads. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to touch on with PPC beforehand. So, perfect, good answer. Good question. We do all of our PPC in-house, right? Everybody in our company has a role to play. I handle all the systems and such like that. TJ handles our PPC and our marketing. So we do all of our PPC in-house. I do not recommend you to do that. It's going to take a lot of money, and PPC is something that once you start, you can't stop. Your account has seasoning to it, okay? All of that matters. If all of a sudden you shut down your account, all of that goes out the window, and you're going to have to literally restart it, and it's an uphill battle, all right? So if you have a longer standing account, it's seasoned, you'll pay less. First starting out, I tell everybody to find a verified and trusted source, somebody that's doing it for you, somebody that actually has reviews. Now, my problem is, why would I pay somebody to run my PPC for me when I can just go and pay a pay-per-lead company? Okay? What's the difference? What am I hoping to achieve by running my own PPC versus letting somebody that's all they're doing? That's all they're focusing on is lead gen, is marketing, okay? The reason why I love PPL companies so much is because of all those reasons. That's all they're focusing on. They're only focusing on lead gen. They're taking all of this money from all these other investors, they're pooling it together, and now instead of you having only a $4,500 budget, you have a $4 million budget. Yeah, you're not getting all those leads. You're only getting leads for you, depending on what route you go with, okay? But you're not having to charge yourself for bad leads, okay? You can ask for refunds. I don't know any other marketing channel that you can ask for a refund. They all have averages, okay? They all are good. They all do the same thing. Some might be a bidding platform. Some might be a marketplace. I think even LeadZolo now is moving to the the bidding. Say that again? Yeah, like an auction site. Lost it. Bro, I misspelled marketing?
I just thought. Mark is ready.
Can't have anything nice. You're gonna start the call over now. Delete it. Guys, can't tell me I'm not authentic at least. The last one we're going to get into today. Uh, Lead Zolo, need to sell my house fast, I speed to lead, property leads. I'm not putting these in any order. Okay? I do not like Lead Zolo more than I speed to lead. I don't like need to sell my house fast more than property leads. I don't think hire one or the other. I think they're all amazing. They're all battling each other on marketing. What's better, Coke or Pepsi? What's better, an Android or an iPhone? It doesn't matter. Everybody has their own input of why one is good than the other, but guess what? They're all fucking good. They all work. Okay? So to touch on Ryan, drop that in. Property Leads is like a bidding platform. 750 is, I think, I don't use them, but what I've heard is that 750 is like the standard that's in there. Go in and delete it and reduce it, and you will still get leads. So I know somebody signed up with Property Leads. They didn't go through the onboarding. They just, hit up their account, logged in, set it up, and then they were off and away. And yes, they were paying $750 per lead. That is very high. I will also say with an asterisk that from all of my communicating with everybody, Property Leads seems to be the better of the leads. I have no idea if that's just because people were paying the $750 and they wanted to psych themselves out and say it's way better than Lead Zolo's. I think they're at $250, or they were, versus iSpeed to Lead. You can get like $25 leads from there. Need to Sell My House Fast has an awesome platform where you can turn it off and turn it on. You can not run your campaign during the morning, only run them in the evening when people are actually hard up and they're looking to type in on the Google and stuff like that. So everybody has their ups and downs. Okay? I just want to highlight that again. It doesn't matter which one you go to. You're going to pick one of them. You can fucking pick all of them and run them together and A/B test them if you want. If you have enough money, I wouldn't say put 500 here, 500 here, 500 here, and 500 here. I would pick one and run it for a campaign. See how that campaign goes. If the campaign was well enough that you want to run it again, run it again. And if you want, add a second campaign. And then you can test them against each other, okay? Do not start a campaign, run it for 30 days, get pissed because you had a bunch of retail leads come in. All of these, plus PPC, all digital leads right now are a lot of retail leads. They're seeing increases across the board. Why? Because retail sellers are hurting. Days on market have gone up across the entire country. So when Mr. and Mrs. Agent can't sell the house, I've seen sellers reach out and click on a lead form. No, I want to get a cash offer on my property. The agent can't get it. And next thing you know, it's a bad lead or cost went up, and now you're pissed that you paid $750 for a lead that you can't do anything with, right? Like, it's happening across the board. Okay? Pick your budget, figure it out, and run it for 90 days, 6 months. Run a full campaign before you make any changes. Okay? Pay per lead. What's a decent budget if you were going to get into it? It smells good. Let's say 3,500. You can spend less. You can do $2,000. 246. Hopefully you get $6,000. You can run it for 90 days, right? That's not bad. Do it. Do whatever you can. Don't get upset if you spend $1,000 and you don't get a lead, or you don't get a contract in the first 30 days also. You're doing the right thing. It's just going to take you longer. Okay? So even if you only have $1,000, you have to realize it's probably going to take maybe 75 days before you get a good lead that comes through, and then you're shit, you might spend $1,000 and you might just be lucky enough to get your first lead via a home run contract. This is why we always work with the averages. Okay? 3,500 works out to be 116. I think it's 0.7, 70 cents. But we'll, yeah, 116.67. Well, we'll just round up for right now. Time to contract. I don't know why I changed the numbers so much on this one, but it doesn't matter. Let's just say days, it took 45. There's no reason that I did that. It just, let's just say it takes a little bit longer than if a PPC lead, right? Until you get your contract, 45 days, then it's an additional 14 days. It's going to put it at 59, right? Beep, boop, beep, boop. 59 days. Your total spend is 59 times 116.67, which comes to 6,883 and some cents. Yeah, 33 cents, but that doesn't matter. KPI breakdown. Lead gen. You had 20 leads. Conversion rate was 10%, which is high. And you got 2 out of them. So you had 20 leads. You had 2 out of the 20 equals 10% conversion, right? I wouldn't expect a 10% conversion rate. That is very high. It just goes to show like outliers too. When you get into long runs of these, you can be like, wow, that was a great month. Ooh, fucking 10% conversion rate? What happened? What different? Oh, it was during the summer and a lot of people wanted to sell. All right, well, we're going into just before Christmas. What do I think is going to happen? Nobody moves. Nobody sells right before the holidays, right? So I'm expecting that conversion rate to be a lot lower during the holiday months. So this type of stuff you can use to project. If I'm going into budgeting and I know my next 3 months are the holiday seasons, do I spend more? Do I spend less? You just keep your campaign running and expect your numbers to change. And that's okay. Just understand why they're changing. Okay? The revenue per deal, what did we do on this one? 18K. Total revenue, 18 times 2. Is beep boop, beep boop. 36,000. Just wanted to make sure. Tommy didn't tell me that. 6,883. This is pissing me off. Total 36. Right? That's your 2 equals 3441. And then 36K divided by 6883, 5.23. Okay. But if you push while others are sleeping, you get the head start of Q1. Yes. So, Nick is absolutely correct. This is why you don't stop your campaign. You just keep running it. Okay? This way you're ready to go. You're not, once you stop your marketing, you won't feel it right away. You're going to feel it 3 to 6 months down the line. And you're going to be like, holy shit, why did I pull back during Christmas? It's now April and we're seeing a lag, right? Like, no, keep your foot on the gas of marketing and ride it out. You're going to make fine tunes along the way, but you're going to understand, you're going to learn your averages, okay? People always want the best. When they get into real estate, they always want the best. Shiny object syndrome, right? The next guy over, he's doing PPC, and he has a better ROIS than us. ROAS, right? Return on ad spend. I want what he has. But what you don't realize is that it took 6 years to get there. It took a lot of bad leads and just spending money that we couldn't recoup. You don't see that. So now you're going to go and pay somebody. You're going to go pay. My favorite is when I find, when I talk to investors and they say, I found this VA that used to run, and this is a quote unquote story. I found a VA that used to run Bateman Collections, Collective, right? Whatever. Their PPC, right? So now I'm going to get him at a fraction of the cost, and he's going to run my PPC. And was that verified? Is that VA giving you like contacts at them to go call? No, you won't know whether or not he's telling the truth or not until fucking well into it. Okay, why I'm paying this guy now? I'm paying a VA and I'm paying him to run my campaign. I'm spending money on a campaign and I'm not getting anything back for it. Why am I doing that? I thought it was the home run. No, you're trying to reinvent the wheel. Don't do that. Okay? Don't reinvent the wheel, folks. Okay? The summary from everything that we did today, those 4 different ones. Cold calling had the highest return on ad spend. Okay? Making it the most cost efficient. But it's also, I don't want to say a farce, because it's not. I know a lot of investors that are killing it with cold calling. It is very dangerous because you're managing VAs. If you're doing it wrong, you're just going to be spending people overseas to sit on their computer. Okay? You can use services that manage the data for you and manage the VAs for you. And you can be very successful doing that. So if that's the route you want to go sit down with a service provider that does that and ask them a shit ton of questions. Ask them how many VAs you need. When a VA is with you for so long, what happens if they start doing good? Do they get a promotion? If they get a promotion, do you have to retrain a new VA? How does this work? Are they only sending you leads? Like, are you talking to Jeremiah or Nancy? I love how I'm making up American names for VAs, but you know what I mean. It's dangerous. So don't go after the highest return on ad spend, maybe. Direct mail is the most consistent once it's up and running. I don't know anybody that's doing direct mail that doesn't want to spend more. Okay?
The average direct mail campaign is well over 12 months long. They know that it's going to take a lot of time for the money to start coming in. But once it does, it's usually a high dollar and it's very consistent. So PPC provides you the ability to really fine tune your own marketing, but it will also give you the ability to lose your ass. Okay, I know, I talked to Ryan Jackson and he spent 20 grand and he made back 20 grand and then he shut down his campaign, right? He broke even and said, fuck it, it's not for me. That is very common, okay? A lot of times people get into PPC and it's the glam, right? You get into the shiny object syndrome. It is a bitch. I'm trying to think of the right word there, but it can really kill you. The reason why PPL is my favorite is just because it's simple, guys. You don't recreate the wheel. It's very simple. You're gonna pay an agency to give you a lead. You're not gonna pay an agency to go create a website for you and then start running a campaign. You're not going to pay an agency to go hire a VA and then start making calls on your behalf, right? Like, the reason why I love PPL is it's in the name. You're paying per lead. Hopefully, they're good leads. You're going to find that out over a 90-day campaign. All of them. They all have their nices, like their plus and minuses, their pros and cons. I heard Lead Zolo is changing from the 250 flat rate to 350. I also heard rumor that they're changing to a bidding site. I don't know anything about that. If that's true, it still doesn't change whether or not they're in contention, okay? All of them, though, have their plus and minuses, right? Like, pick the one that you like that works for you and run it. And then later on, add a second one. Nick, why are you saying Lead Zolo is getting expensive? Right, is that what you're saying? Lead Zolo is getting expensive? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Don't. I can't. Don't run nationwide campaigns, okay? Go into your backyard. If your backyard is a fucking Whoville, then go to a city or do a metroplex that you know is good and only go there, okay? Don't try to do these $25 leads that are nationwide. You're going to get a lot of shit in Oklahoma or Ohio with ducks getting eaten and shit. I'm not, joking aside. It's very hard to do nationwide out of the gate, okay? When you're doing real estate, you have to understand that acquisitions and dispositions are two different roles. And when you're first starting out, you have to do both roles. It is going to be significantly harder on yourself if you're not in that market, if you don't know that market like the back of your hand. So everybody that's in our Discord and is always asking what leads do and yada yada, stay in one market. If you're in DFW, do DFW only. If you're in Florida, do Florida. Whatever market you're in, try to do one market. Go deep before going wide. Okay? What am I missing? You have to go deep, understand the market fully, and then branch out. All right? Then add different markets. Okay? Do county specifics if possible. When you go to need to sell my house fast, I would say I probably like this platform the best, just because the actual website, the platform is very nice. You can put in as many counties as you want, and by a click of a button, turn them on and off, and it'll show you right your average bid. If I wanted a lead in DFW, I'll probably be paying $450 a lead, $475. But if I go out to, let's say, Johnson County, not in Dallas County, if I go all the way out to Johnson or Ellis or one of the tertiary markets, I probably can get a lead for 125, right? So I can, different times in the month, I can do different things. And I really like that about this website. Okay? You can play toward the beginning of the month. I'm only going to run the tertiary markets. This way I have a very low cost per acquisition or cost per lead. And then during the end of the month, when everybody else is blown through their budget, now I can turn on Dallas and Tarrant and those really congested markets that are usually $500 a lead, but now everybody ran through their marketing budget, so now I can get them for $300 a lead or less, right? Just a fun platform. Trying to think if I missed over anything, if there was anything I didn't talk about or discuss. Drop a comment. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't go over today. If you have any questions about anything I said, anything that we have going on, speak now or forever hold your peace. $350 a lead, I don't think is expensive. Okay? So even if Lead Zolo bumped it all the way up to $350 a lead, I still don't think that's expensive. You're going to have to run through quite a few leads till you get a deal. So yes, it adds up quickly, but that also is why you have to make sure you can afford it. Okay? Don't start something without planning ahead. If you don't have 3 months of a budget to put toward it, that's okay. Go one of the other routes first, right? Door knocking, driving for dollars. You have to start saving up. The whole point of marketing is that second step. After you get into real estate, after you close a couple deals, after you understand everything about it, how to help people, now you're just going to pour fuel to the fire and you're going to really start closing deals. If you don't have the budget for that, don't get into it, because you're just going to be setting money on fire and not be able to finish out the campaign. Trying to think if I missed anything. Guys, next week, I hope this was helpful. Next week, next Thursday, in our office, our next open office event, it's going to be all on acquisitions. Okay? Also, this Halloween, we're having our second annual golf tournament. We're going to have 144 players. There's going to be guns raffling off. There's going to be badass raffles all around, right? We're giving away a bunch of good stuff. Everything is 100% for veterans in North Texas. If anybody knows of if you're a contractor, if you're a business owner in DFW and you would like to sponsor, if you would like to partner with us and get your name out there, this is a great cause. Again, it's a 501c3 PO. I don't know, whatever the hell the thing is, but it's all for nonprofit. It is all for veterans in need in North Texas. Look up the Cowtown Warriors. They are an amazing group of people, and they're all volunteers. So really hoping to blow this out for them and have a great time. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Tomorrow is our free call, so I won't be on live, but we still have a call. It's only in our Discord, though. If you guys are looking to join, hop in our Discord. Everybody's invited. It is Free Call Friday. Free meaning free subject. We literally hop in there, think of it like an accountability call. If you have anything that's going on, if you have a deal that you need help with closing, you want to run some numbers on it, that's the place to bring it. Literally hop in the voice chat of Discord and we'll sit there for 2 hours and we help everybody. If anybody needs anything, smash the like button, drop a comment, let us know. You'll always find us in Discord. See you guys next Thursday. Keep crushing it. Peace.